Welcome to the Uzziah Show, where being young, black, and successful is celebrated. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited for today's topic. What successful men want from a woman. Y'all don't know how excited I am for tonight's topic. This is going to be groundbreaking. So make sure that if you are on, please leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here. I need the comment section to be lit tonight, y'all. I need y'all chiming in on this topic because I want to hear y'all's thoughts. This is a hot button going on right now, so make sure y'all keep this energy. For those of y'all that are joining me for the very first time, my name is Uzziah. I'm a professional business consultant, and my job is to help you get out of debt and start your own business. Now, on this channel, we talk about all things success. So today, we're going to talk about what successful men want from a woman. I got that as a question for you. What do successful men want from a woman? Leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Listen, y'all, we getting right into this one. Ain't no filler on this one. Ain't no lead up. We hopping straight into it. Make sure that you get the likes up. Make sure that y'all show me some love. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that way you can receive an alert whenever this show goes on. Now, I want to tell y'all something. You know, typically I have stayed away from this subject because I just focus on the business fundamentals. But I want to give a shout out to LA for Life, who suggested that I do a video on this on last night's show. Last night, I did a show talking about R. Kelly and the downfall of men in business. And the sister asked me to do a show on what successful men want from a woman. So if y'all want to know the answer, here it is. I was going to stay away from it. But since y'all want it so bad, tonight is going to set the foundation for every other video that I'm going to make about this subject. Tonight is going to make or break how I move forward with this content. So if y'all get a lot of value out of tonight's broadcast, make sure that y'all smash that like button and make sure that y'all donate to the channel. All you have to do is tap the dollar icon directly below the live chat box, and I'll give you a shout out for your super chat donation. You can always support through Cash App and PayPal. The links are in the description below. Now, when LA for Life mentioned this as a topic, she framed it as what successful men need from a woman. I'm going to start this off by calling it what successful men want from a woman. That's my starting point because I think it's important for sisters to understand that a successful man has a different mindset from the average guy. Successful men don't view women from the perspective of need because the word suggests dependency. Successful men are independent men. And therefore, they're not relying upon a woman from a need-based perspective. I know it might not sound like much, but pay close attention to what I'm going to say tonight, y'all. For those of y'all that know me personally, y'all know that I'm speaking from experience. I'm not one of these guys that cut on YouTube and nobody knows my track record. For those of y'all that have watched me over the past 10 years, you will know that I have been married for almost a decade in what has been a very successful, beautiful marriage. I also have spent the past 10 years serving as a marital counselor in different churches. So when I'm speaking to y'all tonight, I'm not speaking from something that I heard from somewhere else. I'm giving y'all the formula of the things that I have done for the past decade in my personal life. If you want to know what successful men want from a woman, you need to take this broadcast to heart because I'm a real estate investor, a best-selling author, an entrepreneur, the head leader of a church. I paid off over $95,000 in student loans 2 years after graduating from Baylor University when I was 23 years old. So when I'm speaking from a strong perspective. Okay. Y'all want to know what successful men want? I know a little bit about success. And so tonight, y'all, I'm asking y'all to really dial in on this topic because we got to go in. Shout out to my sister Sharon P. Yes, y'all got to give a shout out to LA for Life for this one because she was the one that mentioned this topic. I give y'all a voice on this platform. If there are certain things that y'all want me to talk about on a future show, leave me a comment below right now to let me know what you want me to talk about. I'm going to make content around y'all. Y'all are my support system. I got the love for y'all. So it's only right that I give your voice some credibility on this channel. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to my brother Yasha Allah. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Hey, stay safe out there, my brother. Praying so much for your safe travels. All right. So, yes, I'm talking about this tonight, LA for Life. You asked me to do a show on this. So, to let you know that I heard your voice, I'm doing a show on it the very next day. All right. So, let's talk about what successful men want from a woman. We have to understand that when I'm speaking on tonight's broadcast, I'm speaking from the context of men who are looking for marriage. The reason I'm starting with that, sisters, is because the things that men want from a short-term relationship out of a woman are very different than the things that men want from a long-term relationship. And a lot of women, unfortunately, are basing their ideas on how to get a man based off of their experience in short term relationships, as well as with men who are unsuccessful. These are the two traps behind so many women trying to be successful in the modern world. A lot of women are basing how to get a husband who's a successful man off of some type of short-term relationship. Maybe it was a one-night stand, maybe it was a random hookup, who knows? Most people are basing their experiences on short-term encounters or relationships that they had with unsuccessful men. The way that you treat a successful man is different than how you would treat a average guy. And I'm going to highlight the differences on tonight's broadcast, okay? Everything that I'm telling y'all on this episode is based on the perspective of successful men seeking marriage. There is a wide market of men that are out here looking to marry women, but they're not looking to marry any woman. They are looking for a woman that will be very complementary to their needs as a successful man. That's the reason why I said it's about what successful men want, not need. Let me start checking these comments. I want to start seeing if the comment section is where I need it to be before I even get started. I need to make sure if y'all want me drilling in on this topic, the comment section better be lit. And I'm going to put a link for y'all to cam up. I want to get y'all on camera. I want to make sure y'all are chiming in. I want to make sure y'all are dialed into tonight's broadcast. Okay. I'm pinning this link for y'all to cam up to this thread. Thank you so much, Sharon, for liking the video. If you're just now joining, we're talking about what successful men want from a woman. Please make sure that y'all donate and support this platform if y'all want these gems to come out. Now, when we talk about what successful men want from a woman, we have to start with the 3 pillars of an attractive wife. I'm telling y'all, every video that I make on this subject moving forward are going to be based upon these 3 pillars. The first pillar that every successful man looks for from a woman when he's seeking a wife on a long-term perspective is this woman has to bring peace to his life. Now, I want you to be very attentive to the words that I'm using. I'm speaking from my perspective as well as the patterns of other successful men. When we were out in the world chasing women for a short-term pleasure, we did not care about if a woman could bring us peace. In fact, for a lot of us as brothers that was looking for women just for a one-night stand back in the day, we honestly liked if women came with a little bit of drama. We might have wanted you to be a little bit feisty. We might have wanted you to have a certain sass to you. But if we are going to marry you from a long-term perspective, you need to be a man's peace. There are so many women that are misinterpreting a man's energy, thinking that, oh, well, when I was acting this kind of a way towards this man, he was so physically attracted to me. But just because a man is physically attracted to you does not mean that he's willing to make you a wife. Those are 2 totally different things, my sisters. Just because a man is trying to knock you down doesn't mean that he wants you to share his last name. So let's be clear. There are different variables that goes into what makes a wife versus what makes a one-night stand. The very first pillar that y'all need to focus on if you want to be an attractive wife is you must bring peace to a man's life. And I'm starting there for a reason. Listen to me, y'all. Sisters, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It does not matter how good you look or how good the sex is from a long-term perspective. The number one thing that successful men want is peace. And let me tell you the reason why. The reason why every successful man wants peace from a long-term perspective is because successful men spend the majority of their life chasing their vision. If you are with a man of substance, that means that you are with a man who is extremely ambitious, focused, and will not distract himself from his goals. So if he is chasing a goal that is worthy, that's going to occupy the majority of his time. The last thing that that man wants is to come home and go to war with you. You need to be that man's peace. Now, if you've been on my broadcasts in previous shows, you always know that I bring the word of the Most High into everything. I am a firm believer that you have to put God in all things if you want to be successful. And so we're going to go to the scriptures to confirm what I'm saying. What do successful men want from a woman? I want to start getting y'all's comments on the topic. Okay. So LA for Life said submissiveness is one quality I believe women of today lack and desperately need to learn how to walk a proper walk again. Okay. I'm with you. But I want us to go into these scriptures just very briefly because I want you to see how God is saying the same thing that I'm telling y'all tonight. In fact, God might be using me as a messenger to help you understand how to get a successful man. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Now, I know that for a lot of you brothers and sisters, you're all familiar with the scripture in Proverbs that says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. A wife is not any woman. A wife has certain attributes. We're reading the explanation of Proverbs right here. It says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. The reason why this wife is a gift where a man finds favor is because this woman helps a man unwind. You've been out there hustling all day. The silent and loving woman is not going to talk your head off. She's not going to make everything about her. She's not going to add on to your attention. She's looking to wind you down instead of wind you up. That's the reason why God says this woman is a gift. Now, I want y'all to notice something. You know, there's a lot of content that's floating around the web about who's a prize and how much value a woman possesses. God is telling you out of his own mouth what type of woman is known as a gift. If you want to be known as a gift or as a prize, you have to be silent in the presence of a successful man. And I think the reason why a lot of our sisters are offended when they hear this is because they immediately go to extremes to think that it's woman bashing. When we talk about a silent and loving woman, we're really talking about our sisters embracing feminine energy. When you think about a traditional family, a man is always the hunter, and that woman is nesting. She is not focused on being in everybody's face talking her talk. She's making sure that her family is taken care of. The Bible says a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. So, sisters, don't listen if men say that every woman on the planet has no value. Women have value as long as they're operating from a position of feminine grace. God is telling you your value right here. But you allow America and modern society to try to dictate to you a different narrative. And then you wonder why so many of our women are single. All we have to do is go to the formula that works. I'm reading from a source of wisdom that has given counsel for thousands of years. There's nothing new under the sun, ladies. Follow the formula. Okay? A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. When the Bible talks about a mind well instructed, it's talking about a woman who is gracious enough to follow the counsel of God and her husband rather than the status quo. See, this should let you know that this is not my first rodeo speaking on this subject. I've just never brought it to this channel. Y'all should see from how naturally I'm talking. I've done these talks for years. I'm telling you guys, I'm a married man. I'm a successful man. My wife is living out the lifestyle that many women say that they want. So when I'm speaking to you from my perspective, especially as an experienced marriage counselor, I'm speaking to you based upon an extensive pattern of successful mating. And you have to understand how to be a man's piece. Let me start looking at these comments. If y'all are feeling this topic, please make sure that you comment and let me know what successful men want from a woman. I want y'all's comments on this, y'all. Don't be quiet now. I asked y'all what y'all want me to start talking about, and now you got it. So make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure that y'all leave me a comment, and make sure that y'all donate by smashing that dollar icon directly below the live chat fire. I said live chat fire because I just saw the truth say, bring this fire. Hey, I'm going to bring it out. If y'all want it, are y'all sure y'all want this? I'm going to bring it out if you want it. Now, I want you to notice what DJ Collins said. He said that he gets peace from a woman that prays for you. And I think that's absolutely one of the components that goes into being a man's peace. Because a lot of times men view things from the perspective of either you're praying for my success or you're praying for my downfall. You may not overtly be doing one or the other. It may so be that you posture yourself based upon your actions. So your actions will tell me if you're trying to be my peace. Your actions will tell me if you're working against me. And that's the reason why one of the best things that you can do is focus on bringing a peaceful environment to all things. Okay, LA for Life said, peace means a quiet spirit, not just quiet in the house. A woman's spirit must be peaceful and quiet. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're absolutely right, my sister. And I think a lot of our women really have this myth in their minds that I can act any type of way that I want to act in public. But then once I get the right man, that's when I could just flip it on like a light switch. I could just flip on being a submissive woman. I can flip on being a man's piece. A lot of y'all sisters don't realize that you're practicing how you deal with your father, how you deal with your brother, how you deal with your boss. All of these different encounters that you have with other men are preparatory for once you get with a successful man. A lot of sisters have in their mind, well, you know what? If all I had was the right man, then I would be submissive, Uzziah. Then I would, humble myself. But you cannot cut it on and off that way. These are behaviors. These are qualities. Anybody that does anything in terms of a personality has to have that hardwired in their spirit long before the right person appears. Y'all don't think that about anything else that's important in life. So if y'all want to be a Hollywood actor, do you say, hey, once I run across Steven Spielberg, then that's when I'll start rehearsing my lines. Once I get in the presence of the right producer, Then that's when I'm going to start acting like an actor. No, if you ever get in the presence of powerful men, you need to already be acting in that role long before you get there. You don't go to a job interview and say, well, hey, I'm going to start learning the job right now. The person is asking you on the interview, what skills do you bring to the table? You need to already have those skills solidified long before the opportunity comes. And I think the reason why a lot of sisters shy away from this is because this is something that requires massive work. And it's so much easier to fool yourself into thinking that you're already coming to the table as the total package rather than willing yourself to become the right woman that a man would want. I gotta see if y'all really hear me. Make sure that y'all comment. Make sure that y'all smash that like button. Make sure that y'all donate and give these super chats if y'all hear what I'm saying. Okay. Sharon P says, wonderful tips and advice. Thank you. I'm so happy that you're enjoying this, my sister. LA for Life says that she's listening intently. Today, we're talking about what successful men want from a woman. I phrase this want from a woman because y'all sisters got to understand that if you want a man that is successful, he is coming from a place of independence. But in order to match his energy or complement his energy, rather, you need to come from a place of dependence. Independent and independent don't mix. And I think a lot of our sisters tend to misconstrue education and professionalism with having an independent spirit. Let me tell y'all something. My wife is very educated. I like to be around a smart woman, but my wife does not project independent energy 24 hours a day. In fact, even in the short times in which she may do that, I will have to remind her that I am the leader. So even though, society may have told you, hey, take on a masculine spirit. You cannot get anything in life unless you act this way. If you want to be under the provisions of a successful man, you need to act in a way that is complementary to that man. Otherwise, that man is not going to deal with you. I'm just giving y'all the game if y'all want it. I ask y'all, leave me a comment and let me know what type of shows y'all want me to talk about. So I'm talking about it. Now we're here. The first pillar of an attractive wife is peace. I'm going to give y'all this next scripture. This is Ecclesiasticus, the 25th chapter and the 20th verse. This is for all of my God-fearing sisters that are out there. A lot of y'all didn't even know that these scriptures existed. That's the reason why y'all need to follow me on my church YouTube channel, True Spirit of Christ. Not only am I a successful business owner that's been running their own business from the time I was 23, retiring from corporate America by age 26, I'm also the head pastor of a church called True Spirit of Christ. Check us out on the YouTube channel right now. It's all here for y'all display. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 20. It says, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. What this means is, have you ever done physical training, running up a sand dune? I know a lot of y'all brothers that, would typically play ball during your high school days. As a part of your conditioning, your coach may have had you run up these different sand dunes at your local beach. The same way that it's draining to run up a sand dune, It's draining for a successful man to come home and deal with a wife that's full of words. This man is trying to unwind. He's been talking all day when working with clients. He's been in meetings. He's been making phone calls. He's been trying to make 5, 6 figure deals. The last thing that he's going to want to do is to come home and expend more energy. He's been working all day. Now he's ready to take a load off. And y'all got to be ready to support that man. That's the second pillar that we're going to go into. But real quick, while we're still staying on one, you need to make sure that you are recharging that man's batteries. A lot of our sisters think that they want a man, that women, a lot of our sisters think that men want a man that will keep up with them and rip and run from here and there. But men who seek attractive wives from a long-term perspective want a woman that can recharge their batteries, not deplete them further. Your job as an attractive woman is to help that man succeed in his day. If you know that he's been spending all day hard at work, your job is to prepare him to get to the next level. Now, I want to give a shout out to my sister Akita Monet. Where you been at, sister? I've been looking for you, man. I've been sending you emails, sister. Man, I thought something happened to y'all. Okay, do y'all know? See, y'all think this is just entertainment. But for those of y'all that really rock with me on this platform, like Rodney Lawrence, like Akita Monet, I reach out to y'all aside from this just to check on y'all and see how y'all doing. This sister right here, man, I got a smile on my face because I thought, maybe something was wrong, but I know, sister, you've been having a lot of things going on. I just want you to know, sister, you've been on my heart. And I've been praying that everything has been going well with you. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. I'm humbled. That really means a lot. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, Sister Akita said, this is needed so much right now in the African-American community. A lot of women were taught to be tough and independent, loud and seen, when these qualities are not attractive at all. Thank you for this class, our success strategist, Uzziah. All right. No problem at all. I'm just happy that you're okay, my sister. That's all. I know all of us are out here getting it. I just wanted to make sure that you were doing okay. So don't be surprised sometimes. For those of y'all that are my regular supporters on this channel, y'all have access to me through email. A lot of times we exchange messages. This is a lot deeper than a show to me. I love y'all and y'all are my family. So don't think that just because y'all ain't on here super chatting, I'm not going to come and look for you and say, hey, how you been? How's everything going? Did you have a good week? Is there something I could do to help on the side? Is that real over here, y'all? That's the reason why I ask y'all to share this content. If you love what this is about, if you love us working together to improve our community, then please show support, y'all. Tonight, we're talking about what successful men want from women. And I ain't going to be on here all night. I'm just laying the foundation. And I'm going to do more videos about this subject. Okay. So since we're talking about a woman being a man's piece, I want to tell y'all a story. The first couple years of my marriage, I would stay at work longer than I needed to be there. The reason why I would stay longer at work rather than coming home is because there was so much conflict in my marriage. Now, in the very first year when you get married, that's going to be one of the hardest years of your life, because when two people are coming together and getting on one accord, that's when you find out all of your differences. So for those of y'all that have went to college, do y'all remember what it was like whenever y'all had that friend that you might have hung out with at the movies or in the cafeteria? Y'all might have been boys, But once y'all decided to live together the following year, the dynamic completely changed. It's one thing when you have love for a person from afar and y'all good. But then once you start bringing your lifestyles together, that's when things get a little uncomfortable, because it was cool when you would just see somebody in passing, but now, all of their habits will affect you. And for my wife and I, when we first got married, even though we were on the same page in terms of our values, just when you come together as one, and y'all put, your clothes are together, y'all are out of the same bathroom, you're getting food out of the same refrigerator, y'all sleeping in the same bed. When all of these things have to align, there's a lot of growing pains along the way. All right. So I'm just giving y'all this as marriage advice, as an experienced marriage counselor. If things are not going well in your first year of marriage, don't get a divorce. Don't seek to run and think that your marriage is a failure. That is standard for all marriages. All right. You heard it here first. I'm just giving y'all the game. I used to stay at work longer during this time because I did not come home and find peace. I would try to stay at work as long as I could until it was time for me to go to bed, just because I needed a way to have my thoughts clear. One of the things that a lot of married men actually talk about is how they look forward to Mondays, because Mondays are the days where they're able to get away from their wife and their kids. They might have been spending their entire weekend around the family, and they go and find more peace at the office than they do at the home. If y'all want to be married to successful men, you need to copy the formula that I'm giving you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, my sisters. Copy the formula. There are so many women that have gone to my wife and said, I wish I had a husband like you. But my wife will always tell them, you say that, but a lot of y'all don't want to put in this work. You just got to follow the blueprint. I don't know what happens when you deal with an average man. I don't know what it looks like when there's some power struggle in the house. That's not me. I'm telling you what works from a healthy relationship, having done this for years on end. Let's make sure that we keep the donations going. Let's make sure that we keep the support going on this channel. All right. I see that the comments are definitely picking up. I see that the comments are definitely picking up. All right. We got a lot of sisters on this broadcast. Let's make sure, y'all, that if y'all are really feeling the commentary like that, make sure that y'all cam up, okay? Because I want to hear y'all's feedback. I want to hear y'all's feedback, okay? LA for Life said, women want a successful man to take her as she is. That's the Black woman's downfall, believing this lie. A man does not have to take you as you are. We must do the work. Those are facts. I want you to understand, sisters, men don't have a sense of obligation to deal with you on any level. Like, we're not your dads. So when we look for you, we're already expecting you to come with a certain foundation. We're not looking to change you into a totally new person overnight. You already have to have had certain grooming, certain etiquette before a man of value is going to want to bring you in. Okay. So when we talk about the subject of the three pillars of an attractive wife, it has to start with peace. If you are not a peaceful woman, a man is going to walk away. Okay. So I want y'all to understand, here are three things that will stop you from being a man's peace. Y'all with me? Number one is drama. If you keep up a lot of drama, a man is going to walk away. I'm going to remind y'all, I'm speaking under the filter of a man that decides to be with you for the rest of his life. I'm not talking about the man that's just trying to get in bed with you. Because some men may be enticed by a dramatic woman on a random hookup. It's it's a thrill. Okay, there's a sense of allure. So if you're thinking that everything that I'm saying, but Uzziah, that didn't work when I was, with this guy this one night. Yes, I know that it didn't work in that case because all he was trying to do was knock you down. A man is not looking for the exact same things in a long-term marriage. When you're looking for a long-term relationship that's healthy, men don't want to deal with drama. They don't want to deal with you being combative. And they definitely don't want you holding on to a masculine spirit. I want you to understand this, my sisters. A lot of our sisters, having grown up in single parent households, play the role of a man and a woman all in one. You make the attempt as the provider to try to hold on to this masculine energy. You have to let that go when you're with a successful man, because any man who is worth his weight is not going to be looking for two leaders in one house. There has to be one leader and there has to be a follower. There has to be a teacher and there has to be a student. And a lot of y'all don't like me using these terms, but that's the reason why some of y'all are single. I'm just keeping it a buck. Any woman who has the privilege of being with a highly successful man is honored to be a student to him because she's soaking up so much game. I'm going to start putting Ariel on this broadcast because I want y'all to hear it from a woman's mouth. A lot of y'all sisters can never get the things that she gets because you're not in the room when I'm doing the teaching. A lot of times, women cannot teach other women the secrets of how to be excellent wives. They can get a certain foundation, and y'all are going to get that from Ariel, no doubt. But what I'm saying is, the best person to tell you how to deal with a man is another man. Because one of the things that y'all need to understand when we talk about support is to give me what I want, not what you think I want. There's a big difference. There's a lot of women that are going into marriage thinking, oh, I know what men want, but it's totally different from the reality of what actually drives a man. Trust me. I've seen instances where women will dress a certain way, thinking that that's what a man wants, and a man didn't want you to dress that way. I've seen certain instances where a woman will cook certain things, thinking that's what a man wants, but that's not what the man wanted. A lot of times, people will put their desires on somebody else, then act like they're helping another person. You cannot do for yourself and call yourself being a help to anyone. If you're going to be submissive, you need to make sure that you're operating according to that man's desires. Okay, all of this is from the beginning of time. When I'm speaking as a marriage counselor, I'm speaking from the perspective of the book of Genesis. Remember what the Lord told Eve? Your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. A lot of y'all don't want to be ruled over. But if you have the right man beside you, it will be a pleasure for that man to take the lead. All right. So I just want y'all to take note on all of this. All right. I want y'all to take note, and I want y'all to smash that like button if y'all are feeling what we're talking about. Okay. Baden, take it easy for a little bit, please. I know it's a lot of comments that you got coming down the pipe. Just take it easy for a little bit, please. Okay. I'm actually seeing some people asking for a block. Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to have to do. Y'all bear with me. We're going to need to start getting some moderators on this show, y'all. Okay. We're going to start needing to get some moderators. We're going to need to start making sure we put a team effort into this thing. All right. So tonight we're talking about what successful men want from a woman. Okay. We going through all of the principles in this broadcast right here. I'm just laying the foundation. If this is the very first time that you are watching this show, please make sure that you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that way you can receive an alert whenever I do another show. Now, I just saw this question from Sharon P. It says, Black men's career, do you think a woman business owner could be a wife of a successful man? Absolutely. As long as she does not put her business or her career path above her husband. Now, again, I want to preface this as well because this is a very hot topic and I want to be as helpful to you sisters as I possibly can. It also depends on the caliber of man that you have. I think this is the reason why you have a lot of YouTubers speak about the definitions of an alpha man and a beta man. If you are looking for a man who is alpha, you definitely have to make him your top priority because he will not settle for anything less. An alpha man is a leader. An alpha man is the type of guy that can go into any arena and will be looked to for guidance and direction. Now, beta males are typically the guys that are not as leader oriented, who are a lot more comfortable allowing their woman to take the lead in a relationship. So, if you are a woman that is a business owner and you want to just be with a man that has financial success, there are men that are out here that have, good jobs and a certain level of success, but they have more beta male energy. You could definitely be with that type of man. You could take the lead in that case, but I wouldn't recommend it because a lot of y'all sisters claim that you want men who know how to lead. You don't want to make all of the decisions. You want a man who knows how to be a man, so that way you can play your womanly role. So, if that is the case, you need to understand there is nothing wrong with you being ambitious, but your ambitions need to be according to that man's goals. I think that one of the big problems that a lot of our sisters have is that they're trying to compete with a man rather than support a man. And that's the reason why you have a way of repelling that man with your energy. My wife, again, is very smart. And there are times in which I will look to her to be able to support me with certain things in the business. But a lot of times I will have to tell my wife, hey, when I'm looking for a consultant, I'll come and find you. That doesn't mean I want to spend all day with you acting like you're my business partner. I'm the leader. You see? So I think another part of that for a lot of our sisters is knowing when to cut it on and cut it off. Sometimes a lot of y'all sisters, y'all will build y'all entire brand about around being professional. But if you have a man who's a successful leader, he's not looking for more masculine energy. Okay. Feminine complements masculine. Masculine looks for feminine. These things go hand in hand. Okay. If not, it's like oil and water. So, as we're on this first pillar of being a man's piece, you have to know that drama, contention, And masculinity is going to push a successful man away. If a man is as successful as you want him to be, then that means he has his pick of many women. He's not going to settle for any woman that's not operating at her best. He can find another woman that will complement his skills. Now, when I talk about having great energy, and I might put this one on a whole other show, great energy is you being upbeat, optimistic, enthusiastic about what that man has going on. Do not be more optimistic working for any other man than you are in service to the man that you want to be your husband. Y'all don't hear me, but I'm giving y'all a ton of game. So there's a lot of our sisters who may have gone to college or are very seasoned in the working world. When it's time for you to go to your job, y'all know how to put that smile on. But for some reason, you don't put as much energy into playing the role with your husband as you will as your boss. And that's the reason why a lot of successful men typically will shy away from a lot of women who are extremely career oriented. Now, that's not to say that you can have a good job and not be sought after by a man. I'm saying if you are so extremely masculine in a corporate space where you're going to give somebody else outside of that man the best of your appearances, do not expect a successful, leadership oriented man to want to have you around, because the number one thing that men look for is good energy. And you being that man's cheerleader is a part of his support system. That's going to take us to the second thing. You need to be a man's support. Support means you play the role that I need you to play. Okay. If I say that I want you to play out this role, I need you to be versatile enough to play that position. A lot of our sisters think that they could get into a relationship with a successful man being a one-trick pony. Nothing could be further from the truth. Sometimes I want my wife to be my comfort. Sometimes I need my wife to make a phone call on my behalf. I cannot just have a woman that just sits up and watches TV all day. I need to trust that if it comes down to it, she can handle some of my affairs if I'm limited on time. And one of the things that Ariel will always tell you is that I don't need you to always come to me for every little thing. As my support system, I need you to study me well enough to know exactly how I would want a situation to be handled. I'm telling y'all, we're going to go into this. If y'all want me to go into this, I will go into this topic. I'm going to give y'all as much information as y'all are looking for on this subject. I do this in real life. I'm going to put on the screen a submissive woman in real life. But let's make sure that we keep those likes up. Let's make sure that we're commenting. Let's make sure that we're donating and keeping these super chats going. All right. The last time I got a donation was almost 20 minutes ago, y'all. Let's keep these donations going. If you like using Cash App, $ Black Men's Career, okay, you can use PayPal. The links are in the description below. Please make sure that y'all show full support to keep this show going. Now, back to the topic. You need to be that man's support system. You need to be able to follow my lead. This is what the Bible regards as a help meet. You need to help me by meeting my expectations, by meeting my demands. Okay. You need to make sure that you're focused on that man's goals. You know, there's this book that my wife likes to read and talk about called How to Help Your Husband Get Ahead. And one of the first things that book talks about is really making sure that you understand your man's goals. Before y'all even get married to these men, y'all need to know what their goals are, because you need to see if it's the right fit. Okay. So you need to follow the lead. You need to make sure that you give me what I want, not what you think I want. And I'm looking to you as a wife to help me further my legacy in every way. Now, here's another thing. That I know that there's some sisters that are out there that are going, well, I met this one successful man and he said something different. Hold on a second, sister. You need to understand that the essence of being a help meet is meeting the specific requirements of that man. So, as I said a little earlier, there are some men who are alpha leaders, and there are some men that are passive men. There's not going to be a one size fits all for every equation. This is the reason why you must do your due diligence. You must understand that man's characteristics. You need to understand what makes that man happy. You need to understand what his demons are. You need to get a full assessment on that one specific man and stop comparing your anecdotal experiences with other men, because you're no longer with them. You're with a totally different guy. I keep telling y'all, I don't care what little sexcapades y'all done had. There's a big difference between dating and marriage. There's also a big difference from man to man in terms of dealing with an average man and a successful man. Some things an average man will tolerate that a successful man never will. So you got to be very honest on if you have what it takes to be able to keep up with the man that you want. A lot of us be wanting stuff, but we don't put in the work to get it. You might want to be a millionaire, but if you're not putting the right actions in place in order to get there, all it's ever going to be is a pipe dream. All right. So make sure that y'all keep commenting. Make sure that y'all keep liking. Make sure that y'all keep donating. We almost done. Okay. We're going to talk about how you have to be a cheerleader as a man support system. I think there's a lot of sisters in the modern day who are more competitive with a man than supportive of that man. So if you see a man making 100,000, instead of helping that man make 200,000, you want to find a way to where you can make 150. If you see that your man has a YouTube channel and his channel got 1,000 subs, you're, instead of helping him get to 2,000 subs, you're going to try to beat him to the punch. That's not supportive. See, there's a lot of independent women that are out here that are good at playing that competitive role, but they're so good at competition that they go to sleep in a lonely bed. There's no man of great success and substance as a leader, a dominant leader, that wants a woman to one up him at everything that he does, because that's frenemy talk. That's frenemy energy. You're not supposed to be an enemy to your husband. Okay. So you got to be that man's cheerleader, like the same way that you would cheer a man on if you were seeing, your guy in a basketball game and you're rooting for him. Woo, woo, woo. Go, Johnny. Go, 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 go. That man could be down by 50 points. You need to be yelling his name from the stands. That's how it needs to be in your marriage. And it's not always based upon your actions verbally. A lot of y'all need to know how to yell and cheer from a man quietly through the fruits of your efforts. But we're going to talk about that on a whole different broadcast, okay? We ain't got enough time to cover that tonight alone. You need to do the things as a supportive woman that only you can do. When you're in the confines of a marriage, you need to make sure that you focus on the things that a man is not supposed to be getting from somewhere else. Do y'all follow me? I think that one of the biggest challenges behind a lot of women that want successful men is they think that they're supposed to be checking all of these other boxes of things that a man can have another woman do ethically, or that man can do themselves. So, for example, a lot of y'all might take a certain pride in being domesticated, and you want to prove that you can get a successful man because of how well you can cook or clean. But not every man will want you to play the role of Susie Homemaker all day. That's the reason why I speak to versatility. He may see certain gifts and talents that you possess that he wants to see you spend more time on over there. Or again, some of y'all might be so career oriented, you place more focus on your career path than you do pleasing the man that you're with. But a man in a marriage, he's not supposed to be looking to other women to satisfy those needs. Y'all follow me? But if y'all put so much focus in all these other things, even though the man can make his own money, the man can hire a cook, the man can hire a cleaner since he's successful, what things should your husband not get from anybody else but you? That's a part of what you need to master. That's a part of your support system. Okay. Understand, energy is finite. So don't think that if you put all of this energy into optional things, that you'll still have enough energy for essential things. Focus first on the essential and go from there. Let me check these comments real quick. Shout out to my sister, Nicole P. I'm glad that you're on tonight's broadcast, Nicole P. I hope that you're enjoying everything that's being said. Okay. And, this sister, Nicole P., great spirit, lovely woman, a woman of much poise and elegance. Shout out to Nicole P. Shout out to the House of Roy the Chef. Okay. Shout out to Yafe, said, peace, brother, peace be unto you, black man. Good to see you on as always. If y'all are just now joining, tonight we're talking about what successful men want from a woman. All right. Please make sure that you smash that like button. And please make sure that y'all donate. All y'all got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below. Your donations go a long way, my people. Also, if you like using Cash App or PayPal, use those platforms also for your donations. All you got to do is tap the links in the description below. Even if you donate after the show is over, I will shout you out on the next broadcast. Shout out to Sis Pecloria. She said this is definitely a hot topic. All right, so we definitely going to pick back up on this. Like I said, this is just the foundation. I'm going to build a lot of my content around this conversation right here. So it's important that y'all get this down. If you want to be with a successful man, you have to bring peace. You have to bring support. And I'm going to tell y'all this, sisters, if you don't take nothing else away from this broadcast, never let another woman support your man more than you. I'm going to tell y'all, never let another woman support your man's progress more than you. I'm going to call it out right here, and I'm going to just keep it a buck. Do y'all see that $5 super chat from Nicole P? Do y'all see that $50 super chat from Akita Monet? These are sisters. And these are supportive sisters that I love. Y'all got any problems with these sisters? Y'all got a problem with me. However, do you know the one person whose job is to be more supportive than the both of these women? My wife. And that requires full-time effort. I always tell you, sisters, damn, she giving another $25 super chat. Shout out to my sister, Akita Monet, because she's hammering in the point. Like, when you are a man of value and substance, women will support you, whether it be platonically or everything else. So you need to make sure, sisters, that if you want a man that is very successful, You need to be at the front of the pack in the support system. That's the reason why y'all will see Ariel on every show. Ariel is not going to let another sister get on this show and be more engaged with this than her. This is something y'all got to know. This is something y'all got to know. Y'all got to know these gems. I thank y'all for all the sisters that's chiming in. All of y'all are my family, and we could not do this without y'all. We definitely appreciate all of y'all's support. But I just want y'all to, I'm saying this because I'm pointing out the example, because this is the plight of every man of success. If you want a man that's successful, you've got to be so supportive. You have to be that man's number one fan. I'm just telling you, the sisters, you got to do that. And if you don't want to do that, you need to think twice about trying to get with him, because you're going to see other sisters that's going to come up who's going to appreciate that man's gifts as they should. And if you're not on your job, you will get passed up. You will get pushed to the side. Don't say I didn't warn you. The third thing that I wanted to talk about real quick before we shut it down is looks. You have to satisfy a man's urges, sisters. All right. Now, I mentioned this last because it's the least important of the three. However, it is very critical for you to have this in order for you to get your foot in the door and stay relevant. Okay. Um, you having a good look is a lot like air. You need air to sustain your life. But if your life is going to amount to something, you need more than just air. Would y'all agree? um, you need to have air to sustain your life, but there's no life at all without it. Okay. So this is an essential thing, but you need to add more to the equation. Okay. Your looks comes across in your fitness, your appearance, as well as your voice. Work on these three core things, and you will be able to attract and maintain a successful man. All right. So that does it for today's broadcast, y'all. If y'all want these 2 free stocks sponsored by Weeble, then please make sure that you tap the link in the comments. Like I said, this is just a start. Leave me a comment to let me know what y'all want me to talk about more. Okay. I want y'all to do that right now. If you loved tonight's show, make sure that you leave me a comment and let me know what you want me to talk about on future episodes. If y'all want to know more about how to reach success in marriage, make sure that you check out my free book, The How to Succeed Survival Guide. Okay. This is a blueprint where I've outlined the step-by-step process on how to reach success, whether it is in your career, whether it's in your family. All these principles go together. So make sure that y'all tap in and get that link. My next show will be this Wednesday at 7 p.m. All right. I'll see y'all on the next broadcast this Wednesday at 7 p.m. I love y'all. Thanks for y'all donations. And I'll see y'all on the next show, Lord willing.